My name is Jared James. If you aren't familiar with me, I'm best known as an entrepreneur that gets the unique opportunity to coach and train agents and brokers in the real estate world and speak at conferences in front of thousands of people. But it wasn't always that way for me. What separates me from so many others is that I've actually done everything that I want you to be able to do. For that reason, this is the place to come if you want to learn the strategies needed to succeed in today's marketplace. This is the Jared James Today Show. Hey guys, Jared James here, and welcome to episode 23 of the Jared James Today Show. As always, guys, thanks so much to so many of you watch. Make sure you give this a like, comment, subscribe on here. It would mean the world to me, and I promise you I will respond to every single comment on here, unless you're just a bozo and you write dumb things. Other than that, you'll get deleted. Other than that, I'll respond to you, okay? So what I want to talk about today, very simply, is the spring market. A lot of people wait till the spring to try to win the spring market. And yet the truth of the matter is, I think the day that we're shooting this, it's towards the end of January, somewhere in there. The spring market is won now. That's a main point that I want you guys to understand. And the truth is, some of these things I'm going to say to you, you kind of already know, but it doesn't mean that your behaviors are aligned with that knowing, okay? Meaning that when I say something, you go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But when you look at what you're doing right now, that's not necessarily what's happening, right? Like, the day a listing comes on the market is not the day the listing was won. Think about that for a second. The day a listing comes on the market is not the day that the listing was won. The listing was won months ago. The day a buyer puts a property under contract is not the day that that buyer was won as far as who they're going to work with from an agent perspective. They were won months ago, okay? And I put something up on Instagram recently, and if you guys aren't following on Instagram, you need to be following on there. That's where I'm doing the most of my stuff. I'm at Jared James Today on there, or just go to connectwithjared.com. You can, click on Instagram and the other places as well. But I put something up there recently that said, results are rarely found in the time of process, okay? Results are rarely found in the time of process. Think about that. How true is that? Again, something we know, but our behaviors aren't always aligned with that knowing, right? Like, most of you watching right now understand that if you eat terrible, do whatever, and then all of a sudden for a day you eat really good and exercise, you're not going to see immediate results because results are not found in that time of process. That process has to go over and over and over and over again. Just like a listing is not won at the time that the listing comes on, it's won previously. One of my favorite stories, I remember an interview that was being done with Usain Bolt. And they asked him, you're running, he's been known as the world's fastest man now for a while. And they asked him, you're running against these fastest people in the world. Is it difficult? Do you get nervous when you're at that starting line? Like, how does it feel? And he said, what you see, that race in the Olympics, at World Championships, at whatever it is, he said, that is the easiest part of my whole job. He goes, by the time I'm there, that's the easy part. He said, the difficulty is in the process that you don't see. The throwing up while I'm running all day long and sprinting and trying to get faster and lifting weights and doing whatever that none of you see, that the media is not at, he goes, by the time I get to that starting point, I already know what my times are. I already know it's faster than everybody else there. That's the easiest part of my job. I'm so focused on process that by the time I get to the place that I'm going to get now an official result, I already know what the result is in advance, okay? And so in a way, that's kind of how I want you guys thinking, or what I want you to understand, is that results are rarely found in the time of process, but they should kind of be a foregone conclusion based on the process that you're following. So when we talk about winning the spring market, which is what most of you want to do, the spring is a busy time, but if you wait till the spring, it might be a busy time for you, but it won't be a productive time for you. What do we do right now to win the spring market? Now, I could literally give 13 different points and what you could do, but I'm going to keep this really simple today, okay? I'm going to give you 2 different things that you can do to win the spring market now, okay? First one, get creative, create content, and promote it. Okay, get creative, create content, and promote it is number one. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Get creative, create content, promote it. I loved a story that I heard recently about one of our one-on-one students, Kelly Weber. Shout out Kelly from New Jersey. Love you. You know I love you. She told a story. She actually put up a video in our Jared James Coaching Facebook group, right? And she put up this video, and we didn't ask for this or anything, but she put up a testimonial for coaching. And she said one of the things that her coach does for her is not just holding her accountable and everything, which we all need, but she said the ideas that we share from the outside, somebody from an outside perspective, the ideas that we share are invaluable, right? And I was telling our one-on-one students on a broadcast we did recently that when it comes to your calendar, there are two things that really belong on that calendar. There's more than two, but these are two main things that need to be on there. There are your set in stone activities that don't change. That's your prospecting. That's your daily, like the follow-ups, that kind of stuff that doesn't change. But the other thing that belongs on people's calendars that is not on enough of your calendars is the room for freedom to come up with ideas. Right? There needs to be time for freedom of ideas where you are trying new things and you're saying, hey, here's what's going on in the market. Let's try this. I think the consumer will relate to this, or I think the consumer will respond to this. Let's try that. One of my favorite things, if you drive around my area, there's a big billboard that goes up around this time of the year and later in the year, and it's for a pool company, and it says, your wife's hot. And then there's a thing below it where it basically like tells them how to get a quote for a pool. And it grabs your attention. You're like, wow, that's brilliant. Like what? You see a billboard that says your wife's hot. You're like, what are you talking about? And you realize that they're trying to say we're trying to cool her down at the pool. But it grabs the attention, okay? So when I say get creative, I'm talking about that kind of stuff. When I say create content and promote it, here's what I mean. Whoever wins in a 2018 world, the content game, wins, okay? Why do you think I'm doing this with you right now? Why do you think we shoot videos? And why do you think I do all sorts of things on social with different content and put short videos up on Instagram and put posts up all the time? And why do you think we're doing that? Because we're trying to win the content game. And so this is the time of the year right now where potential sellers and potential buyers, maybe they haven't selected their agent yet, but they're searching now and they're in that mode of going, okay, I'm going to be selling my house. What do I need to know? What do I need to get educated on? What do I need in this world of Google where they can go look up anything? In this world of, it's all about being there at the right time, right? So right now what you want to be thinking is you want to be thinking, what would I want to read if I was a potential seller or buyer? Like what would I want to look up? What would grab my attention? So maybe I would go and create content right now through video. Remember that thing you're avoiding called video that I'm doing right now, that we need to be doing video because the way that you consume content many times through video is the way that many of you are avoiding doing it, which is crazy because we're acting as marketers differently than we're behaving as consumers, right? And so maybe you want to shoot a video and talk about the 3 things you can do to get on average $9,687 more when you sell your house. Whatever your number is that you get on average higher than the average agent, do something like that that grabs their attention, right? The 5 mistakes that every buyer makes when buying their first home, and put out that content. Just start coming up with what are the things that they would look for. Create that content, take that video, and now through channels like Facebook and YouTube, promote it. Pay to promote it to every single person in your area because in digital marketing, it is you only pay the money when they engage, right? So get it in front of everybody, and now a potential seller, a potential buyer who had never heard of you before goes and starts watching your content and goes, this is somebody who's educated me. I should consider them to sell my home. They know what they're doing. They're an expert. And when people watch you on their phone or watch, you now become an expert. It's like the modern day television, right? And so what content can you create? How can you promote it, okay? By the way, if you're not sure how to promote on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and these types of places, I'm doing a free training on February 1st that's going to show you exactly how to do this, especially with all the changes that have come out in the algorithms and such. And so I believe the description will actually be, or the actual link to register for that will be in the description below. It's going to be on February 1st at 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. You're going to want to be a part of that. You're going to want your whole office to be a part of that. But we're going to talk about how you do that. How do you get your content in front of people who had never heard of you before? Because your success going forward is going to be determined by the number of people who yesterday had never heard of you, but today have to make a decision about you. That's how we run our company, right? So many of you watching me now had never heard of me before. Then my video showed up in your news feed or showed up on your Instagram, feed or showed up on YouTube, started watching it, you subscribed, and now you start watching on a regular basis because I want you to do exactly what it is that I'm doing to you, right? If your content is good enough, you'll win. Now, second thing, very simple, stay top of mind. Like, it's that simple, stay top of mind. One of the things I'm going to be training on in this free training I'm doing on Facebook and other places is something that I think is being severely underutilized right now, which is Facebook lists, L-I-S-T-S, Facebook lists, which actually allows you, and I'm going to show you how to do this, to go in and create lists of past clients, of current clients, of potential leads, of whoever you want to create, so that you can literally go and click on that list and see only their updates. Which means that you can now stay top of mind during this time of the year when the last thing you ever want to hear is, I would have listed with you, I would have bought through you if I had remembered you were in real estate. And so we don't want to be annoying and just be sending, hey, I'm in real estate, but by staying top of mind and going to their social statuses and commenting something about their child or something about their date night or something about you stay top of mind during a time when you need to be staying top of mind. You see, I hate to use another pool company, but you have that envelope thing? Thank you. So here's an example. I won't read the name, and you just trust me that this is from a pool company as well. Top of mind is all that matters. Like, one of the things that separates us from so many other coaching and training companies is that I am not ideological. I don't care whether something's old school, new school. I just care about what works. And great marketing hits people in a lot of different ways, right? It touches them in a lot of different ways to where now it makes an impact. And people in general like easy, like they like convenient. And so I get this thing from a pool company yesterday, and it's all about, which, by the way, remember, process, results don't usually show up in the time of process, right? The spring market is not one in the spring, it's one now. This is all about opening my pool, okay? And about scheduling a time now. And about getting the exact date and whatever I want by sending this in quickly. I've never heard of this company. I'm not even going to show it to you, but I've never heard of this company. I don't know who these people are. I'll be calling them today. I'll be sending them a thing and scheduling my time to open my pool because it's convenient. And it's like at the time that I needed to see it, they showed up in front of me and I went, well, that's nice and easy. Boom, let's schedule that. I don't even know what the cost is. I'm probably not even going to ask. Like, I'll probably ask, but it's not going to matter as much. It's about convenience, okay? And so when I'm saying stay top of mind, we do that through many different ways, guys. We do that through our social stuff. We do that through our direct targeted marketing. We do that through our prospecting. We do that through just our follow-up with our database. We do that through those lists that we create. We do that through a lot of different things. But what we don't do that through is by not thinking about it and not doing anything. By just kind of hoping and wishing the spring market goes well. By just kind of counting on the idea that there will be an influx of demand and therefore more people will use me. That is not how a business is run. Get intentional, have a plan, execute on that plan, and you right off the bat have an advantage over almost every other person in your area. This is why students of ours do so well, is because they're being forced to be held accountable, have a plan, execute in that plan, and not just, oh, I hope it goes well. Oh, I hope it does, right? And like some of you are watching that and you're laughing, but the good news is that's what your competition is doing. You have an advantage when you don't do that. You know, like, think about it like this, guys. We're now just about a month in, right? And we had a lot of people sign up for coaching and that kind of stuff at the beginning of the year. Some of you didn't, you were on the fence. Some of you are still on the fence. You're a month in. How are your resolutions going? Like, have you stayed on track with your goals? Do you know your numbers? Where are you in line with your numbers? Where are you? It's not too late. Some of you watching right now still need to get a coach. Some of you watching right now still need to get that accountability and say, you know what? It's not too late. Let's create a plan and let's go. If you want to do that, go to our website, fill out for a free coaching strategy session. I'd love to have you guys there. Last thing I'm going to say to you guys here, I believe, as I said, we'll have below in the description here, we'll have the link as far as being able to target this time of the year to get in front of potential sellers and potential buyers so that you can be an option, so you can be more visible. Make sure you register for that free training I'm doing on February 1st, where I'm going to show you on Facebook and Instagram and these places how you do that, the most effective practices to use with all the algorithm changes and everything that has changed on Facebook. Good marketers know how to stay ahead, okay? So make sure you register for that. That's going to be 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. We're giving you 2 different times so you can pick the one that works best for you. And last but not least, if you have not registered for the annual advance yet in New Orleans, the yearly event that we do with a lot of our students and followers and stuff, May 1st and 2nd with an optional 3rd day on May 3rd called the 101. We'll be doing a lot of hands-on stuff. Make sure you register for that as well. That's going to be an awesome event. I want to see you there. The best agents, the best brokers get outside of their everyday world, their everyday craziness, get around some of the top people from around North America, get ideas, find out what the blueprint is to get to where they're going, and I'm hoping that's going to be you, okay? So make sure you give us a like, a comment, subscribe, go to connectwithjared.com, connect on all the other platforms, especially places like Instagram, guys. It means the world to me that you watch these. Thank you so much. Share it with somebody who needs to watch it as well, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll see some of you in person at an event sometime this year. Have a great day. Hey there, you, and I am talking to you in particular, person that made it to the end of my video. It means the world to me. But if you made it to the end, I'm hoping that you'll take a second and subscribe right here. Make sure you share that with all your friends, by the way. They're in real estate, sales, entrepreneurial, whatever it happens to be. By the way, if you're looking for a speaker for your upcoming event, click right here to get some more information. And as usual, if you have a question you want me to personally respond, just connect on social. You can click right over here and see all the platforms I'm on. I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great one.